Hi, I'm Amber. Welcome to my channel, Good Stuff. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. I discuss topics relating to spirituality. I'm a believer in the law of attraction. I'm having a twin flame experience, and I recently became aware that I'm spiritually awakening as well in this last year. So it's been quite a ride so far. And I started this channel because I just want to give back the love. So many people have helped me along the way, and I just want to give that back, and I want to help you all feel wonderful. And in the process of doing this, it makes me feel wonderful. So it's a win-win. Today I want to talk about the difference between the words connection and relationship. I used to use those words interchangeably. I thought they pretty much meant the same thing. I thought connection was a synonym for relationship. But guess what? They're not. And when you realize this, it can just be so freeing and so relieving. So first of all, let me tell you that it was a married couple who pointed this out to me, that the words connection and relationship aren't the same thing. And Lee and Sherry are their names. They're a twin flame couple, and I found them on YouTube. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to link them below. But it was Lee who said to me that the connection is not a relationship. And that was huge because this applied across the board in my life. It's been a breakthrough to come to this understanding, and I really was excited to share this with all of you. I'm going to tell you 4 stories that illustrate how connection and relationship are different. And first, I just want to mention too that another reason this is so important is, or maybe I haven't given you a reason yet, but one of the reasons this is so important is because we attempt to block connection. So when you realize that you're doing that, it's going to just open up a whole new world for you when you stop doing that. Because we really cannot do that. And see, that's really how you can tell the two things are different, because we can try to block relationships. We can block someone on social media. We can verbally tell them, please, I don't want to talk to you anymore, etc., etc., right? We can block. But we can't actually block connection. So we think we're blocking it because what we're doing is we're actually just kind of closing our heart up to maybe the way that we feel about someone. We're trying to protect ourselves. And so that's how we try, or we attempt to block it. But I'm going to put it a different way. Connection cannot be cut. So, and if you think about a parent and a child and their connection, I'm going to get into that in just a little bit. You can't cut. And you might think, oh, you can't cut the bond that they share. But guess what? Sometimes a parent-child don't even have a relationship ever, and they have a connection, and it can't be severed, okay? So let me just get into the 4 things before I get too sidetracked. My first story is a personal one. I have a friend. We met when we were children, and we really bonded when we were teens. We were really close, so we're like sisters, like family, and around the age of 19 or 20, we parted ways. I'm not going to get into the details of that, but it was very, very painful for both of us. And we stayed apart for almost 20 years. And it's really been, and I grieved that friendship. I mourned it. It was very, like I said, it was very painful. But I eventually got to a place where it was okay, just because it had to be. I knew that I still loved this person. I knew that she was in my heart. I don't know that I was defining it as connection and energy, but I am now, and I have been certainly in this last year. I've kind of been re-examining, because we became a part of each other's lives again, I think a couple years ago. And so it's really been in this last year that I've been thinking about this friendship and what she means to me and has always meant to me, and just how much energy is in it, because it's been a connection that just kind of defies other friendships that I've had in my life, because we might have other people we've known since we were children, or at any point really, and we have feelings for them, we care about them, but we might not feel that same type of energetic connection. Now, I do know that we we are all connected. We are all collectively connected. So I'm not denying that at all. I'm not contradicting that. But I am talking about something. This is what I just am always trying to understand, even through science. Like, I really want to understand what it is about particular people that makes us notice each other, or um, just have a connection without there even being a bonding experience. So, we've heard stories where if someone has said they saw someone and they knew that was the person they were going to marry, or you see somebody from across the room out of, like, maybe you've seen dozens of people all night at an event or something, and you see one person and you lock eyes with them and you feel something. And I know some people might say, well, that's just that's chemistry, or that's a sexual attraction. But I'm kind of talking about, sure, it may involve some of those things, but it's still something special. It's more than just saying, you know, you think someone is really hot or really cute or really pretty. It's something about their energy that you have taken notice of almost without your consent. It's kind of like, whoa, it stopped you. So that's kind of what I'm speaking of here when I'm talking about this type of connection, because we connect with everyone, right? But there's something really energetically happening with certain people, and I just think it's I'm talking kind of fast, but I just think it's fascinating. And that's another reason I wanted to make this video. I just love, I write, I'm a writer, and I write about connection, so I'm going to say that word a lot. I hope I don't drive you insane. But I love it, and that's why I write about it, because I don't know what it is. I just love exploring it. Okay, so that was story number one, my friend and I becoming a part of each other's lives, and I always felt a special connection to her. I always thought about her. She never left my heart, and it was very obviously different to me than other relationships that I had had in the past. I had never really experienced that type of feeling. So story number two is about Wayne Dyer. I'm going to post a link below of him talking about this subject, and he talks about it in more than one video. It's the story about him going to the grave of his father, and you may be familiar with it. And I'm not going to try to paraphrase that story here. I mean, I'm going to tell you a little bit so you have the gist of what I'm talking about. I have to wait for the airplane. We live by an airport. Okay, so Wayne Dyer's father left their family when he was very small. He never had a relationship with his father. He never knew him, and he didn't find out his father had died until 10 years after he had passed. And he felt an impulse to go to his grave. Well, actually, I think he says that he really wanted to know if he was even listed as one of his children on the death certificate. So something drove him to do this. And what I find so interesting is that he never had a relationship, but you really have to just listen to him tell the story. He really had felt this man's presence, had felt a connection, I'm going to call it, throughout his whole life, though, with this man that he never bonded with, never met. And the one quote that I really like, I'm going to take a peek over here. Oh, right. So he said that, well, first of all, I keep getting tongue-tied on this story. He said that once he made peace at the grave, and this was really the catalyst to his own spiritual awakening, and it was really, he was a different person after this moment. But he was open then to giving and receiving love and just forgiveness, and everything changed for him. And he said it was then that he felt his father's presence all around him. And this is what really struck me, because his father had passed 10 years before. He never knew his father, and he could feel his father's presence. And he said it was such a love in his heart. You can just feel that just radiating off of Wayne Dyer when he tells this story. And so again, just another wonderful example of connection without a relationship. Story number three. It's actually about death, kind of carrying on with Wayne Dyer's story. He felt connection even after his father had passed away. So I'm taking this a bit further now. My best friend lost her mother to cancer several years ago, and sometimes with the things that she will tell me, or the way that she will talk about her mother, or just when I sense how she's feeling, it almost seems sometimes that she feels more connected to her mother now than when she was alive. And I'm sure they were very strongly connected when she was alive, or they were. But just to see this connection now, it's a really beautiful thing. And again, it just really is a way to show that someone's presence is just here with us, and that connection doesn't go away, even though we don't have a relationship with them anymore. So this goes beyond just missing someone who has passed, because we are going to think of people. Like I said, we're all collectively connected. We're all really one consciousness, right? But that special energy is even beyond a bond. So it's just something that you feel. And it's not something you can explain with your mind. So again, it's just something you just know. Trust your intuition. You feel it. All right. So the fourth thing. Before I forget, going along with the story about people passing away. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Mary Poppins movie, but there's a song in the film called "Where the Lost Things Go," and there's a line that says "Nothing's gone forever." I'm going to post the lyrics below for you, because I think if you read those, you'll kind of it just will make you feel good. Even if it makes you feel a little sad, it still makes you feel good, because you know exactly what I'm talking about, that those people you're connected to, those loved ones, are always with you. Okay, so the fourth example, I kind of hinted at this at the beginning, the parent-child relationship, and specifically in the case of adoption, because I've heard stories my whole life about an adopted child looking for their biological parent, or the biological parent searching at some point for the child they gave up for adoption. And again, this is an example of there was no bonding, there was no relationship, yet there's this connection, there's this compulsion, there's this drive and yearning to reach out for this person. There's something being energetically shared between all of us, of course, but I think with specific people, there's definitely something really amazing happening. I'm kind of looking at my notes because I was seeing what else did I write about that. I already mentioned some of this, yeah. So there's definitely something amazing happening with specific people. And when I was talking with my husband about this morning, I just said, I just really want to understand, what is it scientifically? What is it that makes certain people, we feel this stronger connection? Since we are all connected, why is it stronger with some than others? And he said he feels that there's just more of, we all come from the same, we're all made up of the same consciousness. We all have come from the same matter and same stars, and I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but we've all come from the same, we're all made up of the same thing, same building blocks. And so my husband said, he thinks that when there's that one person that really grabs our attention, that there's this stronger energy, if you will, that he thinks that maybe those two people share more of the same energy, or the same matter, however you want to put it, than maybe we do with other people. And so we recognize it in each other. And I just thought that was really cool. I was like, wow, that's a really cool way to think about it. Okay. I love talking about this. So I don't know how to explain it scientifically, but I do have something to share with you that is science. It's a phrase that kept popping into my field of vision in the last couple of weeks. It's called quantum entanglement. And like I said, it kept coming up. I saw it on a video, I saw it in an article, I heard someone mention it, and I thought, oh my goodness, I keep hearing this, and what is it? And so I looked it up. And it kind of goes along with what I was just saying. How are we sharing the energy, and how is that happening? And I'm just going to read you a couple paragraphs right from this article, and I'm going to post the article below, because I can't explain quantum entanglement without some assistance. So this article is called The Cosmic Connection from Entangled Particles to Soulmates. So it says, each one of us feel connected to someone or the other, parents, siblings, friends, spouses, at some time or the other in our life, and with some individuals throughout our life, and somehow we can sense at least the big events in that individual's life. In quantum theory, entanglement is the term used to describe the way particles can become correlated to predictably interact with each other, regardless of being separated by spatial distance. So this is really interesting. So they're actually starting to understand, and I think it's been around for a little while. This man published a paper in 1964. So it's not something totally new, but I think that the way that they're able to test this theory and understand it is just advancing more and more. But it's really interesting to think that the two particles are entangled with each other, and yet they're separate from each other. They're separated by distance. So it's a really cool thing. Okay, you can probably hear the thunder, and I didn't mention I am in the garden, and oh my gosh, I don't know, I hope you guys can see that. Is it a butterfly or yeah, it's a butterfly, because sometimes we have hummingbirds too, and I guess the hummingbird would be flapping a lot faster, but I hope you can see that butterfly. So I also want to mention another reason that I kind of brought it up at the beginning of the video. Ways I mentioned how we try and attempt to block connection, but we can't actually do that. And so that's why this is so important too, because when you really stop and realize that you're connected to someone who you might not have a relationship with right now, or you might not have a great relationship with, or you wish it was a better one, and this can be anyone in your life, whether you're having a twin flame experience, it could be a spouse, a child, your parent. Just see if there's ways that you can feel that you're blocking connection. And I think it's something you feel. It's not something you can logically, I mean, you can ask yourself questions for sure, but you're really going to feel it in your heart and know if you are. And for me, big breakthroughs came when Lee told me that connection wasn't a relationship, because I was really able to see how I've blocked it with many people, like I said, many people. And so it also was a relief to know that even if I didn't have a relationship or it wasn't going the way I wanted to with someone that I care about or love, that knowing that we were connected was just a relief. It kind of took the weight off of everything. And so try that. Just, look in the mirror and try that as an exercise. Just say their name and say, we are connected. That's okay, because we are connected. Because that just releases it. And it means that you don't have to do anything to fix it. What this is all about is raising your vibration, because once you accept and you drop resistance, our vibration just naturally rises. And then some of these things that we do want and do desire in these relationships just will happen naturally for us. And so just let that love in. Don't try to block it, because you can't. Especially with a parent, we can't cut that connection. So, and we don't have to fear these connections. So really ask yourself these questions, Maybe I should just write some down in the description box too. But are you fearing connection? Because at first glance you might think, no, I don't fear connection, but you can feel the difference in your heart to know if you're open or you're closed with this. And it's sometimes it's a daily thing to make sure that your heart stays open. I'm looking at the butterfly again over there. Meditation will help you do that, because when we're open and we're in the state of allowing, I already kind of mentioned this, but that's what's going to help us feel better and better and better, and it's going to help us stay open and open and open, and that's what we want. And so in realizing that connection is not necessarily a relationship, expand, be open, and just allow. All right, I hope this has been really helpful for you guys. It definitely was for me. Like I said, it was a breakthrough moment for me. And I know now that I'm talking about it, I feel like I can't quite tell you how awesome it was when I first heard this. And I really hope that some of you or all of you have the same kind of aha moment with it. I hope it's something that really opens up possibilities for you, because that's what the spiritual journey is all about. The possibilities, and they're right now, right here, right in front of us. The butterfly in the garden. All right, thank you so much for watching. Again, please subscribe to my channel. Good stuff. And have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. It is quite warm here, but it's very beautiful. All right, bye-bye.